welcome back to the deep dive. If you've ever had that slight panic when a waiter walks up to your table in a foreign country,
Yeah.
try to figure out the menu, get your point across, it can be pretty stressful.
Oh, definitely. It's high pressure, isn't it? You're hungry, you want to get it right. But honestly, that pressure cooker environment, it's actually brilliant for practicing English. Really forces you to use those core, polite, essential phrases.
Exactly. So our mission today isn't just, giving you a phrase book. We want to do a proper deep dive into the language itself, the structures, the little tricks to take your English from just, well, surviving to actually sounding confident, natural even.
Even past just pointing or saying, I want this.
Right. Getting you comfortable with things like I would like. We're basically unpacking the toolkit you need.
Oh, okay.
Let's unpack this.
Yeah, and we've looked at how language instruction tackles this. What's interesting is how predictable restaurant chat actually is. There are stages, right? And if you know the typical flow and the most, let's say, effective, polite phrases for each stage, you're pretty much set. You've kind of mastered that interaction.
Okay, phase one. You've just sat down. The waiter arrives. What's that first hurdle?
Usually it's that classic question, are you ready to order? Now, if you are, fantastic. A simple, yes, I'm ready, thank you, is perfect.
That's enough.
But let's be real, often you're still staring at the menu trying to decipher, I don't know, duck confit versus duck à l'orange. You need a moment.
Yeah, and just shaking your head feels a bit abrupt.
Exactly. So the polite strategy is to hedge a little, ask for time nicely.
And we found a really good one for this, didn't we? It sounds much better than just barking, wait.
Absolutely. It's about softening the request, using few helps, and framing it as a question.
So what is it?
The best one is probably, could I have a few more minutes, please? Using could I instead of can I is just that little bit more deferential. Less direct. It's a subtle thing in English, but it really lands as polite.
Ah, nice. That's the kind of nuance we're after. Okay, so you've had your few minutes. You've looked at the menu, but maybe you're still not sure. You want their advice.
Right. You want a recommendation. Two key phrases here. If you want to know about, like, the daily fresh dish, ask, what is the special today?
Okay.
But if you want their actual opinion on the whole menu, a broader suggestion, then it's, what do you recommend? This actually opens up a bit more of a conversation.
Yeah, it's more engaging than just listing items. You're asking for their expertise, which is good practice for listening to.
Precisely. Now, phase two, actually placing the order, food, drinks, maybe checking on ingredients.
This is the core bit, and the materials we looked at were really strong on this point.
Yeah.
Avoid sounding like you're giving a command, so definitely no I want.
Never I want. It just sounds wrong in this context, too demanding.
So what are those go-to formulas? The ones that sound polite but still clear and confident.
Well, the absolute standard, the most polite form is I would like, or a little more informal but still perfectly fine is can I have?
Okay, examples.
Sure. I would like a chicken salad, please. Or can I have a hamburger and fries? See how would like makes it sound like a preference, not an order. It's softer.
Got it. And always adding please. That seems non-negotiable.
Oh, absolutely. Sprinkle please liberally. But, okay, drinks are usually simple. Can I have a glass of water? I would like a cup of coffee. Same structure.
Right. But what about the more critical stuff, like allergies or strong preferences,
Yeah.
dietary needs? This is where you can't really afford to be misunderstood. Safety first.
Absolutely. And here, clarity trumps everything, but you still frame it politely. The sources suggest simple, direct questions, but maybe with a polite opener.
So how would you ask about, say, nuts?
You'd state the fact clearly, I am allergic to peanuts. Then the polite request for confirmation, could you please check if this dish contains any? The could you please check part wraps the vital safety question politely.
Makes sense. And for things that aren't allergies, but maybe just, you hate spicy food or you're veggie, how do you ask about ingredients without sounding like you want the entire recipe?
Be specific about the ingredient or type of thing you're concerned about. Simple questions like, does this dish contain cheese? Or is this vegetarian? Or for flavor, is this dish very spicy?
Ah, okay. So focus the question.
Exactly. It gives the waiter something clear and easy to answer instead of them having to guess what you might or might not like. That specificity, it's a huge shortcut.
Right. Moving on then. Phase 3. During the meal. Maybe asking for extras or dealing with things that come up. The waiter might ask about starters first.
Yeah, they often gauge your pace by asking about appetizers. Would you like any appetizers? Or maybe something to start?
And we need to know what appetizer means, just in case.
Right, it's just a small dish before the main course. Could be soup, salad, maybe some bread, that kind of thing.
So how do you respond politely?
Simple refusal. No, thank you. Or if you want one, yes, please, I'd like the appetizer name. Keep it straightforward. Same goes for dessert later. Would you like some dessert? Yes, please, the chocolate cake, or no, thank you, just the bill.
Okay, and then the food arrives. The waiter says, here you go, or enjoy your meal. What's a good response beyond just thanks?
Well, thank you is always good, but if you want to show a bit more enthusiasm, you can comment before you even taste it. Oh, thank you, it looks great. Or, that smells delicious.
Nice.
And then, if they check back later, how is everything? And it is good, offer a specific compliment. This is really good, or I'm really enjoying this pasta. Specific praise feels more genuine.
Good point. But what if it's not good? What if something's wrong? The soup's cold, the steak's overcooked, it's not what you ordered. This is where people often freeze up, right? Worried about sounding rude.
Yeah, it's tricky. The key is the soft opening. Always, always start with, excuse me, even if you're annoyed. Then use a phrase that softens the complaint slightly.
So instead of, this soup is cold,
Mm-hmm.
try, excuse me, and I'm afraid this soup is a little cold.
Oh.
Or, sorry to bother you, but this isn't quite what I ordered. Or, excuse me, this is much spicier than I expected. Using things like, I'm afraid, or a little, or I think takes the edge off.
Oh, okay. So excuse me, plus a softener, then the issue. That makes sense. It minimizes conflict while still getting the point across. What about just needing simple things during the meal? More water, a napkin.
Keep it short, polite, and use that could I or can I structure again. Could I have some more water, please? Or can we get another napkin? And remember what the sources kept saying. Make eye contact, speak clearly, maybe offer a little smile. It all helps.
Right, the nonverbal cues matter too. Okay, final phase, wrapping things up, budget, special needs again briefly, and getting out the door. Let's talk money first. Checking prices, especially for specials that might not be listed.
Yeah, you need to know what you're getting into. Again, simple, polite question. Could you tell me how much the fish special is? Or what's the price of the lasagna? Direct, but uses that polite, could you tell me?
And just reinforcing those special dietary needs, maybe beyond allergies, like being vegetarian or vegan. State it clearly, perhaps when ordering, just to let you know, I'm vegetarian. Or, I don't eat meat. Could you recommend something suitable? Then you can still use those specific ingredient questions if needed. Does this sauce contain dairy? Is this cooked in vegetable oil? Clarity is key for everyone.
Okay. Then the meal's over. Maybe you couldn't finish it all. Leftovers. There's a bit of a UK split here, isn't there?
There is. In the U.S., you typically ask, can I get this to go, or could I get a box for this?
Right.
In the U.K., it's more common to say, could I have a takeaway box, please? Or could we get this wrapped up to take away? Honestly, most places will understand either, but it's good to know the local norm.
Good tip. And planning ahead, booking a table.
Standard phrase, can I make a reservation? Or I'd like to book a table, please. Then give the details for 2 people for Friday night at 7 p.m. Simple as that.
Okay, the grand finale. Paying the bill. How do you signal you're ready?
You need to ask for it. The key phrases are, can I have the bill, please? Which is very common in the UK. Or, can I get the check, please? Which is standard in the US.
Bill versus check.
Got it. Both work, but using the local term is always smooth.
And what if the bill comes and whoops, there's a mistake? They've charged you for something you didn't have. How do you query that politely?
Again, soft opener. Excuse me, I think there might be a mistake. Then point it out calmly. We didn't have this bottle of wine, or sorry, I only had 1 coffee. Using, I think, softens the accusation. You're questioning, not accusing.
Right. And payment methods. Card, cash.
Just ask directly. Can I pay by card, or do you take credit cards? If using cash, especially a large note, do you have change for a 50? And if you're dining with others and need to split it, can we split the bill, please? Or could we pay separately?
Okay, covers most payment scenarios. And finally, tipping. This is a big one culturally, especially in states.
Huge. It's really expected in the US as a way to thank the server for their work. Less obligatory in the UK or Australia, but still appreciated for good service.
So linguistically, how does it work? Is there a phrase?
Often it's just added onto the card payment or left as cash.
Hmm.
But if you want to specifically mention it, maybe if paying cash separately, you could say, I'd like to leave a tip, or this is for you, when handing over the cash tip.
And the amount.
Guideline in the US is typically 15–20% for decent to good service.
Mm.
Less elsewhere, maybe 10–15% if you do tip. The main thing is just being aware it's part of the transaction and a way of showing appreciation in many places.
Okay, so that's the whole journey from walking in to walking out. It feels like focusing on these sort of structural phrases, the could I, the I would like, the polite softeners. That's the real takeaway. It builds confidence.
Totally. You don't need hundreds of words. Master those high-impact phrases. Could I have a few more minutes, please? I would like the dish name, please. I'm allergic to allergen. And of course, can I get the check bill, please? Those cover so much ground.
And that other key advice that kept coming up, speak clearly, and maybe a bit slower than you normally would. Don't rush. Confidence and calm really help.
Absolutely. And, you know, the sources we drew on had a neat little challenge at the end. We should pass it on.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Just this. Try right now, maybe, to mentally describe your last restaurant meal in English. Or invent one. Just 3 to 5 sentences. What did you order? Who were you with? Did you ask a question? Just practice using some of these structures.
Nice. Well, so what does this all mean? It means the challenge is out there. Take this toolkit, apply it, internalize these phrases. You really do have what you need now to go out and order confidently, politely, and hopefully get a delicious meal.
Exactly. You're ready.